pretty decent reboot. Wish they would do iCarly more. Should have just called it Carly if you aren't gonna do the web show. Like, they do it so little. Sometimes they say they're gonna do it, then they don't do it. Like, there's an episode where Carly gets this taco costume. She has this idea with Freddy for iCarly. Car breaks down. That's now the main plot point. Taco thing's forgotten about. Never happens. A lot of cameos. Principal Franklin shows up. Miss Briggs is talked about, but she does not return. Neville has an episode. For some reason, he still has a crush on Carly years later when he's a grown man. Even though they don't even hint that Freddy still does, so... Weird. Yet as soon as the girl likes him, he immediately gets with her. So I don't get him still having a crush on Carly. It was cool to see him, I guess. Get Griffin back, but they don't use this as an opportunity to talk about, how badly that episode aged. They just he's obsessed with Beanie Babies and now he's a scam artist. Which was already obvious. Because in the episode he's like, oh yeah, I had to sell all my Beanie Babies because I'm in legal trouble. And then they're surprised when he's a scam artist. And they mostly do all the original actors. We get Duke, who was in 2 episodes of iCarly. He was barely a character, but he returns. Nora returns for 1 episode, where it's fine, she's no longer a stalker, and then she meets Carly and she's a stalker again. Except it's only for that episode. She never appears again in this season. She's literally climbing into Carly's apartment. But we never see her again. Very weird. Tebow does not make a return, sadly. He's not even mentioned. It's like the show forgot about Tebow. There's a conflict about an episode where Carly has to choose between 2 men because they have to do that. All shows apparently have to do that at least once. Yet this show has a lot of representation for the LGBT community. Gay, bi. Well, really only bi. The other ones are only talked about or mentioned. Oh yeah, this person's non-binary, and that person never shows up. It's just someone they talk about. It would have been cool to see a non-binary character. The only one I ever remember seeing was in the movie They/Them, which is obvious why they were in there. And then, they don't really do anything with Polly. It's not represented enough in media. So it would have been cool if Carly turned out to be Polly and she dates both of them. Seeing the struggle of a poly relationship, or how maybe one of them isn't poly, but her and one of the other guys is, so he ends up leaving. But it's just the typical, she doesn't know who to choose, so she just doesn't answer them. And it's funny. I didn't care for it. Spencer is also rich, but it's only really only used for 3 episodes. The very first episode where he spends $2,000 on alcohol, and it's really only used for a joke of Carly wasting it for a celebration for her friend Harper. And then he wants to spend a bunch of money on Freddy's app that he made in the final episode. So Spencer being rich, he doesn't really use that much. He literally still lives in the same apartment. But yeah, that's really about it for this show. It's pretty decent. but it could have been better. And yeah, that's about it.